Okay, something that I've gotten a lot of requests to cover is Project 2025. And this is an interesting one because I'm the viewpoint diversity guy. And if you Google that, it's all negative. This is essentially Project 2025 is absolutely terrifying. It's a manifesto like Mein Kampf and stuff like that. But when something is so one-sided, it piques my curiosity and I start to go, okay, what am I missing here? Look, if you read Project 2025, which is long, it's like 900 pages long. So I didn't read the whole thing, but I went through a lot of it and watched videos on it. It does give a lot more control to the president. And this is by the Heritage Foundation, so it would be a conservative president, most likely Donald Trump. And that power comes from getting rid of a lot of the unelected bureaucrats and having people that are directly appointed by the president to fill those positions. And the people who fill those positions would be loyal to the president and they would do a more conservative agenda. Where now the bureaucrats are kind of staying in there regardless of who's president. So if they disagree with who's president, then they will give some pushback and that would go away. This is also a conservative agenda, so certain things like reproductive rights and things like that would also be taken away if 2025 went into effect. Because remember, both the left and the right are trying to push their agenda and morals and things like that on the country. Now, what is missing? What is the other side to this? Well, first of all, there is a bloated bureaucratic state. A lot of what happens in government is done by people who are not elected. We have 3 branches of government: executive, legislative, and judicial. But the bureaucratic state, and we're talking about a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people are there and they're not elected. They're not people that we choose. They're people that were chosen long time ago that are just kind of there making the decisions for us citizens. So removing them and having them chosen by people that we elect, you could say aligns with the Constitution. Now, as far as this being the idea of like authoritarian takeover, the Heritage Foundation is a conservative organization and conservatives tend to be more for small government, individual rights and things like that. But also the Heritage Foundation is a think tank. This isn't official policy. This is something that a think tank wants to have official policy and they will push the limits. These think tanks were going to push the limits and try and push. They want 1,000 and if they get 300, that's a win. So when you read through it, it's pretty extreme, some of the things as far as like where we're at today. But that's kind of the job of a think tank. This isn't the official agenda of the Republican Party, and that's important to know. But lastly, there is a more left-leaning sense in a lot of these bureaucratic positions. And if you go back and listen to what Yuri Bezmenov said in 1984, I know, ironic, 1984, he laid out exactly how communists have a plan to infiltrate education and government positions and things like that. So it's a long game, slow incremental movements towards a more Marxist agenda. Now, is that happening? I don't know. But if you look at the trajectory of our country, it is going in a more left-leaning direction. Not saying that's good or bad, but for people who are conservative, they're going to want to put the brakes on it. And you can also make an argument that with our tremendous debt and the direction that our country is going in, if we don't do something very drastic very soon, then America could collapse. So that panic gets in people and they say, we got to do something big. We got to do something drastic. The Heritage Foundation stepped up and said, all right, here's what it is, Project 2025. So that's just a little bit. I am very curious what people have to say because there's a lot of individuals out there that follow this account that can add things and take away things and things like that. So I appreciate you guys and I hope this helps give clarity and start the process of critically thinking.